and this is for contractors that are trying to work their way up, how do you charge what you're worth? There's always contractors. They're usually younger ones, or they've never tried to shift their market they're working towards, but they want to do these bigger jobs. They want to be able to charge more, but they can't because everybody in their market, nobody would ever pay that. My competitors are all too low, and so on and so forth. How do you get to the point of being able to charge what you're actually worth?
You land one.
You start way higher.
No, you land one. That's it. Like you finally deliver a quote that's high and you lose it. And then you deliver a quote that's high and you lose it. And then you deliver a quote that's high and you land it. And you're like, there. Now you have the confidence. But not until somebody actually bites on it. You have to put the price up first. You have to be the one that risks it. You have to be ready to lose a job. And then once somebody purchases that high price, then you have the confidence to keep going.
Right.
But it requires you just deciding you're going to. And knowing, being prepared and knowing you're going to lose one.
Yeah.
Or two or 10.
I think you also, in a way, you need to dress for the job you want, because you're comparing what exactly? You're comparing what one guy charges versus the next guy. Well, we've already talked about how not all deck builders are the same. So you're sitting there and being like, I can't get more than $15 a square foot in my market. There's no way I could do that. And it's like, how are you getting $40 a square foot? Well, for one, like market activity might have something to do with it. But also, maybe you're a guy who's driving around in a half ton with a magnet on the side of your door. Mm-hmm. And the guy who's getting 40, maybe he's got like a showroom and he's got full staff and they do 100 projects a year and they're all 6-figure and up and whatever else. Like, they're going to attract those high-end customers. And
yes.
you've got to put on that show before you can get the high-end customers aren't going to come find a low-budget builder.
Nope.
The more you continue to charge what you think you can only charge, the less chance you're going to have of ever attracting what you want. Right?
Yeah. But of course you can't just have a showroom and 4 employees that work on quotes and have a big pimping truck like that. It doesn't start like that.
Yeah.
It starts with dress nicer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Show up on time.
You have to provide more value than the guys you're claiming you can't beat right now.
But
they only charge 15. Well, what can you do better to charge 20 and then 25 and then 30?
Yep.
And then whatever. It's probably not an overnight thing for you to be like, today I charge 15 and tomorrow I'm charging 40. You might have to creep it up and be like, well, how are you better than these other guys? Well, I'm better because of this. And find out what your benefits are over working with you, what value you're providing.
The podcast we just did a couple weeks ago was with David, and he talked about, from LS Underground, he talked about how winning those NADRA awards was a goal of his so that he could use those awards to then charge more.
Right.
He was like, I have to lose a little bit or I have to work a little bit harder now. Mm-hmm. And then once I establish that I am kind of like a world famous, or at least a
class,
US famous,
at least a podcast famous.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like he's an award-winning deck builder. Mm-hmm. And until you can be award-winning, you don't provide more value than the other guy.
Right.
So
and that alone, that gives you more
there it
value.
Is. Now you have
charge
clout. And it's like, well, why are you more? Well, let me show you all of my awards.
Right.
Yeah, you might have to, like he mentioned on there, he's still eating it on a lot of jobs. He's like, I'm just I'm not making great money in these because I just want to get it done so I can win the award. But as long as you have you can't do your business like that forever, but as long as you have a goal or a strategy behind that, where it's like, I'm going to do it, whatever it takes to get a few jobs out there, to get them in my portfolio, to get the award, to put on the wall, to talk about, to like all this, to build that brand first. And then I can then the next time somebody wants this, they've come to me wanting that because they see my ability and they're probably more the customer that I need.
Right.
Or that they're willing to pay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that we've all done it. Like I absolutely, when I was still building, there was some fancy shit we did too that was like, I didn't make money on that fancy shit, but it was pretty cool. And it won an award here or there. And it was like, allowed you to market yourself a bit more, and it opened people's eyes and was like, wow, nobody else can do that I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you ate it on one job and you can make it up for the rest of your career.
Potentially, yeah.
You had a customer that came to you and was just like, you're building my deck. And it was like, well, you didn't get a quote from anybody else? It was like, nope, just you.
Yeah.
You're the only one. And so be fair, but You're the person that's going to build it for me.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, there you are.
And I certainly found like that, to your point, once you get one big one, they seem to find you then if you do a good job on that one.
Yeah.
Because those people
Those
they got
people have
rich
friends. Yeah.
right?
No, that's right.
That starts to get out there.
Yep.
And especially in smaller markets where there's not a bunch of high-end guys, where it's like a whole bunch of guys that can build decks. If one just kind of rises above a little bit, all of a sudden that's the guy that all the rich people look for. And if that's what you want to do is the big high-end jobs, then you just got to get that first one.
Yep.
Knock it out of the park.
You got to knock it out of the park.
Yep.
I think that's one of the most important things. And then the second thing is you have to be, you have to be prepared to raise your price on the second one or the third one or whatever you deem to be as many projects as you need to get under your belt. Because so many people get trapped in the idea that, well, I charge this for that. Nobody's going to pay me $50,000. Like you get down on your price, right?
Yeah.
There's just a ton of fear behind it too.
It's
because
fear,
because everybody starts out wanting to get every job that they can because it's a scary thing to go into business for yourself. Even if you were in business before and you've decided to specialize in decks, there's always this fear. It's like, is there enough work? I have to win every job.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like the only way you can do that is by winning on price all the time. And that might be true sometimes in your market. If you're the green guy, you might have to win on price for a little bit until you've built your portfolio and you've got a brand and people recognize that and you have your reviews and stuff that you can share and you have some people that you can refer people to talk to. You're like, yeah, here's my other clients. Go talk to them. They have great things to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until you've got that, you might have to provide value by providing a better price. But there's people that can never break that mindset, right? They're just like, that's what my market is. Yeah, you're the one setting that.
You did that.
I guess the other thing is you could start by offering what you think you're worth and just see how many jobs you lose or win.
Yeah.
Start there.
Yep.
Right?
That's scary.
It's super
people,
scary
right?
because
When
you're going to be dead in the water
lose
for a
the
while.
first 30 jobs you quote, you're like, oh shit, got to put food on the table.
Yep.
Suddenly your mindset changes quite a bit.
It's scary.
It's scary, but you also, like anybody who's done it always has great things to say.
Mm-hmm.
I just decided after yeah, because it was never the fear was more scary than the reality of it. It's like when same thing when people are like, I'm going to start charging for estimates. Everybody's so scared to start charging for estimates till they do it.
Yeah.
Find out that like, I've got so much more time because I'm not dealing with tire kickers anymore. My business is more profitable. I'm happier.
Spend more time with my
crew's
family.
happier.
Yeah.
Everything about this is fantastic, but it's just a scary leap to make. It's no different than being like, I'm going to start choosing to work with high-end clients. I'm going to charge more. Okay, well, your old days of winning 50% of your jobs is going away, and it's not supposed to be like that. It's okay that you're only going to win 10% now.
Yep.
You don't have time to do 50% of the quotes. You can't anymore.
Yep.
Because the one you win is going to be 2.5 months long.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
TC Deck says, I felt more clout when I got my trailer wrapped. Weird, but true.
yeah, for sure.
I don't think that is weird. I think that does give you more clout.
Yeah.
You show up, you look like this is a professional operation that builds decks seriously, not just like rolls in with a buddy and a case of beer on the weekend. Like, this is your profession. That gives you more trust, which means you can charge more.
Yeah.
That's part of it. It's part of the equation.
Yeah, that's that unwritten, like the undocumented psychology of the whole thing, right? As you show up at the house for a quote and you come with a truck and trailer that are wrapped and you look good, and then the next guy comes in and it's like a rusted out truck and all the tools are hanging out of the box and he came right from the job site, you better be 10,000 higher.
Yeah, exactly.
They probably wouldn't want your quote to be the same.
Yeah. But think about it from something that you're not familiar with, like getting your furnace fixed or something. If I had to call an HVAC company to fix my furnace, and I called a couple and I got them to come out. The guy that rolls up in a van that's all deckled out and it's a company I know, I'm good with him being in my house fixing my furnace. But if I've called and I'm expecting that, and what actually rolls up is a dude in a Civic and a Home Depot bucket full of tools that he walks in with and no branding or anything, I'm like,
he's a Home Depot authorized professional.
He might be great. But he certainly doesn't give me confidence because his image doesn't say that we're a company that specializes in this.
Yeah, he might be the best furnace fixer in the whole planet.
Yeah.
But he ain't walking in my door.
He's the furnace fixing savant.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's it. That's all the questions about price. We answered none of them. We just talked about them. That's good.
Good.
So
Good.
it's tricky. Price is a tricky thing. That's why people don't like to talk about it. Not us though.
We like to talk about price.